was born in Philadelphia. I grew up there till 1978 when my family made Aliyah. In May 81, I was drafted. The Lebanese War broke out then. When you're 19, 20, 21, and you go through scenes from the extreme horror. So it's a roller coaster, but it helped shape who we were. I started painting during the Lebanese War. A close friend of mine gave me one of the most important gifts in my life. He brought me a little set of watercolors and a pad. And after one particular time home, which was pretty traumatic, I started painting it. Helped me feel better.
He became extremely calm from the painting. It changed him tremendously. And whereas before he was like just stormy, it did him a lot of good.
Well, after the Army, I went to the States and I decided to take an oil painting class. Totally fell in love. I started investing a lot of time in it and I started getting shows and I started selling, which was great. When the Iraqi war started, I couldn't take that my country was being attacked like that. You know, it's funny, I had a show going on in Soho, I had 4 pieces going into a museum, and I just picked up and left.
He could have just stayed there, become some famous person. But he had this calling and he needed to get back to Israel. He always said it, I need to get back to Israel.
You know, it might have been the worst career move regarding art that I could make. But despite all that, I just couldn't stay away, and I just tend to follow my heart. The big moment came when the mayor of Shiloh at that time, Ira Rappaport, the legend, he says to me, "Come on, why don't you work with our security?" He says, "It's nothing, a few hours a day." And I was like, great, I can get back to my art. Little did I know that I really wouldn't be getting back to my art, but would be taking a totally different path that I did not expect.
And he said, it'll be part-time, great work for you. You'll be able to paint and you'll be able to do some security work on the side. And there were some kids in the shuv that didn't quite fit in. And they especially loved hanging out with Marc. He kind of got them.
My mom met Marc and she asked him if he'd be willing to teach me art. There was a group of us in Shiloh that were going through a little bit of a rough time. At the time, it was during the first Intifada, and things were stressful. Within the yeshuv and out of the yeshuv, on the roads, he gave us a feeling of belonging through art and through someone who just didn't judge us.
Talking about being a Rav Shatz during the Intifada, it's not something easy for me to speak about. You know, this area turned into a war zone overnight. I mean, we were dealing with 1 to 2 shootings a day. People were getting hurt, people were getting killed. I guess you could say the best came out in my fellow Rav Shatzi, my fellow security chiefs. No fear. You know, you run into fire if you're on time. If you're late, and you just have to help the wounded, pick up the bodies. And, you know, I'm really proud to say that even as times got hard, we were there. We were there for our people.
הייתי רכז הביטחון של היישוב עופרה, ומשם אנחנו מכירים כקולגות. למרק, מי שמכיר את מרק, למרק אין אגו. ומרק הוא מקצוען אמיתי, אמיץ לב, עם נשמה ענקית, ענקית. ונשמה של אומן, עם נתינה מפה עד הודעה חדשה.
גם כשהוא היה רכז ביטחון ואני הייתי קצין הביטחון פה, הביצועים שלו היו כמובן מאוד מאוד טובים, ומה שנאמר זה מה שהיה. בגלל שהוא חש מחויבות אישית של כל יהודי, לחיים של כל ישראלי. וכל מינה נוספת תהיה מביכה.
ואתה רואה שיש לי כבר צמרמורת על זה, כשאני נזכר באירועים שהיינו ביחד, לצערנו הרב גם אירועים קשים מאוד. אני יכול להזכיר אירוע מאוד שאנשים מכירים אותו, שזה האירוע של ואדי חרמיה. אותו צלף מסילואד שבא בעצם לפגע והרג 11 אזרחים וחיילים. ישר, למרות שיש ירי כל הכיוונים, שאתה לא מבין בכלל מה קורה בכלל בתוך האירוע, והבחור נכנס לתוך האש ומנסה להבין את האירוע ולטפל באירוע, וכמובן גם לראות בחזרה, אבל זה מרק.
When you bring kids home to their family or parent home, you make someone happy, you give them their life back, that's the reward.
He was involved in so many terror incidents, and obviously this really didn't do a great number on his artistic creativity.
Sometimes the Arabs back then in one of the villages near me, they would all of a sudden just starting to throw stones. It would always come when I would be painting, just when I was like in the zone, and I would drive into their village and just make mayhem. And I was called in by the IDF and my parallel in the PLO. And I told him straight out, I said, listen, man, I paint then. I really need to do this. I said, if I don't paint, I'm going to lose it. They put out an order, no one to make any problems between the hours of, I think it was like 10 and 2, because Marc is painting. And it was hilarious. I started working for One Israel Fund 2 years after I stopped being a Rough Shots. Well, it was like a blessing, It was really like a blessing. I was able to take what I had learned and apply it to the communities. I was able to see things, and all of a sudden, when you have the ability to really do something, to make a change, it was incredible.
When he retired from being the head of security and he started working with One Israel Fund, it was literally a match made in heaven.
כשמרק מגיע בתור נציג של One Israel Fund, הוא מבין את הצרכים, הוא עשה את זה כבר. מרק, יש הרבה מאוד תחומים טכנולוגיים שמרק מקדים את זמנו. זאת אומרת, הוא בא עם רעיונות, הוא מיישם אותם, הוא גם מתכנן אותם הרבה פעמים, מיישם אותם, ואחר כך רק מגיעה המדינה ולוקחת את הרעיון הזה ומיישמת אותו בגדול.
Working with Marc has been one of the most rewarding and inspiring experiences that I've had in my entire career. He is impulsive, he's rash, he's tenacious, and he has the heart that is the size of an ocean. Every single fiber of his being is dedicated to helping protect Am Yisrael.
מה שהוא נמצא, זה רק נתינה ולשפר ולראות איך משפרים את החיים של האנשים ואת המתיישבים בנושא הביטחוני, אבל זה כל הזמן לתת ולתת 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 ולתת.
As painters, we're always being pinned that we see outside of the box. We live outside of the box. And so I have to say that being an artist of Judea and Samaria helped me within my security work. Everything's a painting, everything's composition. Sometimes different, sometimes we look at things different. In fact, we're even expected to see things different as we label ourselves artists. And so I've combined that, the art and security, and they flow together.
So with the art, he starts off with little details, and then he creates the picture, which more often than not has people in it. And what he does with security is first he starts off with the big picture, which is all about the people and how to keep the people in the picture. And then he fills in the details on how to do that, because he's desperate to keep us in the picture.
My husband got a צו הרחקה מנהלי, which means he can't be at home. We just built our new house and we didn't have any light outside, and for me it was one of the frightening things to stay at home. And suddenly I get a phone call from Marc from out of nowhere. I don't know this person, and he's just coming and saying to me, "What do you need?" And I told him, "I need a light." It just happened, and it was a shock for me to believe that there's people that they just want to help, and just gave me a lot of security to show the kids that we're safe and not alone and frightened, and to feel secure.
I get a lot of comments. Kol hakavod, Marc. Oh, Marc, we're proud of you. One Israel Fund, you're great, you're this. Kol hakavod to One Israel Fund, all these things. And I think there's a point that's being missed. We can't do this without you. It is a joint venture. But I will promise you, the more involved you all get, the more smiles we will bring. That's a simple fact.
He's a wild man. He's a wild man in a great way. And he's really had to fight to keep us here. And that shows. And that shows. This is a tough place, but it's for tough people. And I don't think they get tougher than Mark.